Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. We are live again, like we do every Friday when we bring you Ubuntu Sports, and we are excited because today is the 1st of March in a new month, and we've got a lot to discuss. And the analysts are here just to help you understand of what is happening in terms of Zambian football. And just during the week, you watched how the Copper Queens performed against Ghana, and we'll be talking about that and also be looking at the upcoming Four Nations tournament in which our boys, the Chipolopolo boys, will be taking part in that tournament. And also, we'll be looking at the Zambian Super League because it's interesting what is happening there, and to have the log table just to look at it, and also just to give a story of what is happening, looking at the games that will be coming up tomorrow and also on Sunday. So if you are watching Ubuntu, don't forget to share this broadcast, and also you can participate by typing in your comments. But I'm not alone tonight. I'm with Bwezani, and also I'm joined by Abia, who join me just to help you explain of what is happening in terms of Zambian football. Good evening, Bwezani. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Good evening, Reuben. Thank you so much for the big welcome. It's been a while, but look,
Yeah.
it's always good to be back here. This is my first family.
No, thank you for that, Bwezani. Yes, you've been missing in action, but we've been following you what you've been doing in terms of Zambian football, and we usually use your log table here just to check of what's happening in the Zambian football, and we're grateful for those tables just to update us of what is happening. Good evening, Mr. Abia. Welcome also to Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you so much, Reuben. Good evening, and good evening to Gwezani. It's also lovely. Good evening to the viewers. Viewers, you have heard that this is a new month, and this one is a very important month. You need to follow Ubuntu Sports because by the end of this month, we are going to have a FA election. So stay with Ubuntu channel with all the updates that concerning about the election of parts. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Abia. Let's start the program, shall we? Bwezani, I'm sure you followed of what was happening in terms of Olympics qualifiers for women football. We went to Ghana, won it by goal to nil, and we were playing in Ndola at Levi Manosa Stadium, and it came out a 3-0 draw. Were you surprised with the results, and how did you take at the qualification to the next round by the Copper Queens?
Well, surprised with the draw, yes, I was. Actually, very surprised with the result, the whole game, because look, I applauded the 1-0 victory away in Ghana, and the issue was it's not easy to play away. You understand what I mean? But the fact that you even go away and win, seriously, it was a very big result. At that point, it didn't matter how the girls played. The most important thing was we managed to get a win away from home. So with that dimension, I thought the next game, which was at home now, was actually going to be easier. Easier in a sense that we are a more experienced team now in women football than Ghana. You understand? So Ghana was not at the Olympics, Ghana was not at the World Cup, Ghana was not at the last WAFCON. So if you are talking about experience, Zambia should actually be above Ghana. You understand what I mean? So coming back to Levy, especially what happened at Levy when the team played Angola, I expected a lot better performance from the Copper Queens. And Reuben, I rarely travel for women's football, but I had to travel because I had a lot of faith in that game. Okay, but then it started well, 1-0. After that, it was a totally different game altogether, and Ghana was definitely a better team. They should be shocked themselves when they look back and say we didn't win that game, because I think if there was a winner in that game, it was supposed to be Ghana. You understand what I mean? So the fact that they are out, it should be very painful for them. But I think we scrapped it out, and that's what football is. Sometimes play dirty, win your games. Everyone after 3 years, believe you me, Jerome, no one will remember how poor we played. Everyone will just remember that we qualified to the next stage by beating Ghana. You understand? So it doesn't sometimes matter. But then on the analysis aspect of it, it is something that leaves a lot of questions. If we are improving, stagnant, or we just don't know where we are. It was a bit disappointing play. But of course, kudos to one Barbara Banda. Look, those are people we need. If things are not going well, take it upon yourself and just push. That's exactly what she did.
There was a lot of talk in terms of the midfield for Zambia, and it was just the first time. Even the time they played in Ghana, you said it's very difficult to play in Ghana. I thought maybe the coach had picked up one of two things where Ghana might be strong, but we saw we're under pressure. Even if we drew that game, are we struggling in the midfield?
We are. And first of all, well, look, I was watching with my wife in the stadium. Immediately the lineup was made, and the way the players stood, it was a 4-2-4 formation. You understand? Now you're asking yourself, this team was very poor away and in the midfield, and well, he started with two midfielders, Irene, of course, and Irene
Susan
and
Katongo.
Susan Katongo. But again, in transition, Rachel Nachula would drop to a number 6 position. So as we were transitioning, we realized that we were actually having three midfielders there. So I don't know what the 4-2-4 formation was all about. But then the biggest worry is not the formation. The biggest worry is what is happening to the players that are now supposed to be improving. You understand? That's the big question that we should be asking ourselves. Because look, experience now, 3 big tournaments. I'm actually skipping COSAFA. 3 big tournaments, there should be some personal improvement. Everine Katongo was one of the best midfielders. But all of a sudden, she's seriously not at the level that she should be. You understand? And the other thing is also, if you look at the physique part of the Ghanaian team compared to what we saw in Susan, well, the difference was massive. And maybe it is also telling us maybe we are not doing very well in the physical aspect of the game, the physical trainers. You understand? Because honestly speaking, there's only 2-3 players that looked fit into that game. And that you could actually look. Most of them were just falling like I don't know. So there's something that is actually amiss into that team. But generally, the midfield was the most porous, the most indecisive. They actually made the defense and Catherine look very bad. That's one area, honestly speaking, that Bruce should not be sleeping. And if these are not performing, there's the Super League for women. Look around. Look around. See what Pauline is doing, for instance. You understand? So Pauline was just drafted in through the COSAFA. So it is telling you there should be 1, 2, 3 players. The challenge that is there is Bruce doesn't even watch the Super League for women as well. You understand? But if he starts watching, he needs to know, because for him, he already has a lineup that is made for Morocco. You understand? We are playing Morocco on the 1st of April there. He already has that lineup. He can give it to you today. He should stop this. And this is the problem. He seriously needs to go around, watch as many Super League games as possible, just fuse in other players that are there to compete. Because if Susan Katongo knows to say, now this is competition enough, she will need to up the game. At the moment, she knows whether she trains, she doesn't train, she's always going to be in that starting line. Yeah.
Great submission there. Let me welcome Joseph. Joseph, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports. And you've heard what Bwezan has submitted. Do you agree? Or do you have anything to add there? Right, since we've loaded Joseph, let me cross over to Mr. Abia. Mr. Abia, you've heard the submission by Bwezani. What's your comment over the performance for the Copper Queens?
Yeah, the performance was really disappointing, though results favored us. But, when it comes to qualifier, it has been always difficult for Zambia. to play with big opponents like Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, inclusive. So I understand, like myself, because the second game was a do or die game for both teams. So everyone in that team, both teams has pressure. The pressure was mounting to both sides because when Ghana scored 3 goals and we were down to 2, already Ghana was qualifying with an away goal, 3 away goal, better than Zambia with 1. So I concur with Bezan to say I think it's about physicality. Physical trainers, they're not doing their job, you know. Um, Susan Katongo, he has been phenomenal at the club, GBFC. I have watched the GBFC women here in the Eastern Province playing football. Very nice. And that Susan Katongo is really a genius player. But I think on that game, both games, it's about combination of players. Sometimes it's also contributing. So I think the problem. Sorry to appoint this Reuben. I will point first direct because I don't know when Coach Bruce Mashpe started coaching this women's teams. I don't know if right now he has a contract at first or is just doing it at what can I'm looking for a better language to use. I think he's also. I wonder if he's under probation. He's still under probation. I don't know. We need to give him a contract so that a man should feel that I have a job, and once I have a job, I need what, a CV. So you need to make a CV through Copper Queens. But how can someone have encouraged when he's working? He doesn't know when I will be told to say, no, we have now sent you on a administrative leave. We have now a new coach. Or maybe we have decided you to continue. That's the problem at first. So the problem begins at the head there. So if first can give Coach Bruce Murphy a contract and sign the document that no, we have employed Bruce Murphy as a permanent coach for Chipolopolo, I think those things will not be happening. Even the people there at the bench, they will do their needful because we are trying here to say, in terms of physicality, our players are lacking. So anyway, I can say much a lot, but it was disappointing because in Ghana we defended almost about the second 45 minutes, almost defending. Here we are also doing the same, and it's unfortunately, or maybe we are lucky to have Babla Banda in the team for him to use that strength to score all those 2 goals. Otherwise, we were penetrated and outplayed by the Ghanaians. I understand the second leg was very tough. Each and every team wanted to qualify, but at our home soil, we could have played better than we played in Ghana. That's my submission, Reuben.
Thanks very much, Mr. Abia. But then coming back to you, you heard the coach for Ghana after the match. He said Zambia can do better in terms of tactics. Do you agree with her? And also, let's look at what are the positives for Zambia going forward now that we're meeting Morocco. What should we change in the team?
I do not get your question clearly.
All right. The first part is I'm sure you heard of what the Ghanaian coach said after the game, saying that Zambia could do better in terms of tactics. And also, I was looking at it from the next game for Zambia. My second question was, how can we then now improve? Looking at Morocco, Morocco is also not an easy team to play.
We are a reactive country. I'll be honest with you. We react to events. We are not very good with preparation. Okay, so now if we beat Morocco, everyone will forget about Bruce must go. Okay, they will say the next time we are well beaten and well outplayed, they will say we do not have a coach. What do you want to get from Bruce? There's nothing more, and this is what we need to accept. And I know a lot of others that are supporting Bruce won't agree with me. Look, what else do you want Bruce to do? He's taken you to the Olympics. He's taken you to the WAFCON. He's taken you to the World Cup. What improvement are you going to expect from him? You understand? So those are the tactical things that Nora was talking about. Okay. Of course, she didn't mention it. She said we should go and ask the technical bench about the tactical approach of the game. What am I talking about? There was no midfield, so the ball was from the defenders. It should actually go look for where Barbara is, in whichever situation that he is, when she holds the ball, she should score. You understand?
Long balls.
So the only team,
yes.
exactly. So the only team that was playing like football, you could actually see it was Ghana. So it is easy for us to know what was she talking about. It's such things. Okay, it was one route football, and then you are clearly seeing that you are outplayed. We come on the second half, the start of the second half. Do you remember the team that made 3 substitutes? A team that was playing better than us. So we continue again with the same players that were very bad in the first half. No substitution until the 80th minute plus. Okay, so it tells you the coach has nothing else to do with that team. And for me, honestly speaking, we should have let Bruce. We should have clapped for Bruce, gave him flowers after the World Cup, and say thank you so much for Bruce. Look for a different coach who is going to put in new things into these players. The players are first of all gotten so used to the system. It's stagnant. Those are the tactical differences that we're actually seeing with Ghana. So that is one. The second question is, how do we approach the Morocco game?
Yeah.
Let's not even say we do not have a team. We have a very good team. You understand? Unfortunately, most of the players are also attending to the training, military training, Ochumba, Belemu.
Belem.
You understand? Yeah, those key players. They are not with the team. We don't know what is happening to Mapepa. Okay, so we seriously need to look at it with a very open mind. How are we going to approach it? Women football also lacks friendlies. Okay, we only prepare for games. We don't really test our players with key friendlies. So the Football Association of Zambia, honestly speaking, should look out for friendly. We are playing Morocco. Why don't you squeeze in a friendly with Tunisia, who are from playing Morocco? You understand? They will give you a proper expectations of what you may actually be looking out for. If not, South Africa, we are not in the same group. They are our neighbors, and there are two teams that hate each other. You understand? So
Yeah,
you know
with
when they walk
Nigeria.
onto the pitch, when they walk into the pitch, it will be like a final. Those are the friendlies that we need to just make sure we try different formations, and because friendlies, are open to substitution as many as possible. So it is this opportunity that we are missing, because from what Morocco did, definitely the favorite is Morocco. You understand? But that game is not yet played. They are just favorite. We could also prepare as much as possible to get something out of that game. Who knows? You understand what I mean? So that's the issue. Preparation-wise, friendlies, open the doors. Do not close it up because you think you have 18 players that can actually play. Open, look around, bring in these players, see who is better in what position. At least let there be competition. For now, there isn't. That's what we should be doing in preparation for that game.
Right, Mr. Abia, over to you. Morocco versus Zambia. It's coming. That's the next game for us to cement the qualification to the Olympics.
Yeah, this game will be a very tough game, and I think from my point of view, we are going to improve Reuben. I have so much faith and so much trust in Bruce. And I don't concur with the soccer fans who are calling for the sack of Bruce Map. They don't know what they're saying. You know, the soccer fans, we need to know them that they are like children today. They can say thank you today, tomorrow they will cry for food, as long as their stomachs is empty. So it's not all the days that you can satisfy a soccer fan. But for me, I have very much confidence that Bruce Mape will make a formidable team. Who knows, by then these teams, Zomara Mapepa, Margaret Belemu, Grace Standard, may be available at that time and will have a very good competition in the team. Who knows? So that game is a question mark. Everyone can qualify, but I have so much faith that Chipolopolo will make it. Even beating in Morocco home and away, Reuben, we can do it. I remember in the friendlies that we had in Morocco, we beat them at their home ground. Yes, they may say they use Team B, but it's not for us to tell them that use Team B. But we smashed them. So it's a game of anyone's chance who create those chances and take those chances into goals, then will qualify. But all in all, Zambia has a better chance to qualify over Morocco. What we need to do is to prepare adequately. Gwezani, I've talked about
Mr. Nyirenda, what was the problem with the game against Ghana?
The game against Ghana was a midfield for the problem. They were not. They were
so
not
who was
giving
supposed
up.
to correct the situation?
The situation was supposed to be corrected by a coach and the technical bench. But from my point of view, I think if it was men's team, would have said, maybe let me use this word, the players that can be in for Susan Katongo, those players were not there at the bench. The player that can play at the in the place of Pauline, is it Pauline? I don't think they were there at the bench.
Look, Mr. Nyirenda, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You see, we are not practically saying remove these players. We are talking about the tactical aspect of the game. Okay? If your formation that you have started is not working, what do you do to subdue that pressure and change the way we were playing? You understand? And everything will fall on the technical bench. And who is the head of the technical bench is Bruce Mwape. You understand? So
exactly.
we understand the support that you are giving, and it has nothing to do with supporters just to talk. It is evident that Bruce Mwape was watching like us in the stands. 90 minutes. He was watching like us in the stands. And if you have a coach like that, it's seriously dangerous. You understand? Because look, with a simple error, we would actually have been knocked out. You understand what I mean? So,
yes.
Who is to blame? It's definitely Bruce Mwape. I know you are a fan of Bruce Mwape, what. Even me, I like Bruce Mwape. But look, this is national team. Emotions come, and you should throw out those emotions. Tomorrow I meet Bruce Mwape, we'll talk. As a national head coach for the Copper Queens, it should actually end here. You understand what I mean?
Mr. Bezan, take a look at this situation. You have been working at a company under probation for 3 to 4 years. How can you feel? Would you have a morale to work? So take that responsibility to FAS. FAS is the only key that can solve all of this problem. They are the ones who will release money for training, for players, for anything concerning football. But why
Now,
is Bruce Mwape not
sorry, Reuben.
written contract?
Sorry. Mr. Nyirenda, if what you are saying is true, you are saying is true, then we should fire Bruce. He should not be anywhere near the national team. Because according to what you are saying, how can he be working? It's like now, Avicii Moche because he doesn't have a contract. You understand?
The FAS, yes.
If he doesn't have a contract or what, as long as he is heading that technical bench, he needs to up his game. If he's not upping his game, we want to look at, does he have a contract? Is he getting paid? Look, He's been around for 3, 4, 5 years. You understand what I mean?
But
So
why
if
is he
he's not
not getting
getting
a
paid, there's a
contract?
problem. Let him go to Chingola.
You want
No,
him
no,
to go
Mr.
back to his
Gwendani.
Rangers. All right,
Let's
Mr.
be fair
Nyarenda,
with Bruce.
we need to progress. Let's go to the Chipolopolo. But then for me, I think one of the coaches that really was supposed to be given the flowers at the airport was Avram Grant. But anyway, moving forward, we know that the Chipolopolo will be playing in the Four Nations tournament, and Bruce, Avram Grant will be in charge of the tournament. Are you confident with now Avram Grant being in charge of the tournament and looking forward, preparing the team for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations with what happened recently at that performance at the Africa Cup of Nations?
The topics for today are, are seriously very difficult because, look, my opinion may not be very favorable. You understand? I'm not a
Yep.
fan of Avram Grant, and I won't even hide this. I think we are wasting time with Avram Grant. I thought actually when he missed the evaluation meeting of the AFCON, I thought it was time again. I thought maybe he has gone. It was going to be a serious blessing on our part. The fact that he's back, it will again derail us because I've seen enough of Avram Grant. I'm not one of those that says he qualified us to AFCON. I'm not in that school of thought. You understand? I want to look at the games that we qualified to AFCON, the struggle we had against Lesotho, home and away, the struggle we had against Comoros, home and away. That's the way we should be looking at things. Not, he qualified us. Qualification shouldn't be something. You understand? But how did we qualify? Then we get to the AFCON. How did we play? In the first game, second game, and the third game against Morocco. I think these are the things we should be looking at, for me personally. And look, unless we have a different grant now, the grant that we had at AFCON is a grant who plays players who are there by name, okay, not by the performance of where they are coming from. And then his love for European football, as long as you are a player playing in Europe, you should actually be ahead of those that are playing in Africa, is wrong. Okay? Those players are actually on the bench most of the time, and we saw the result. So I'm not a very motivated person when I look at what Avram Grant is doing. And yes, unfortunately, he's back. I'm calling it unfortunately because I thought he was not going to come back. So I've lost on that point. He's back. We have to check and see. You understand? I hope he's going to have his full team to see his thinking now after AFCON. Because obviously, most of the players have disappointed him and most of the players have surprised him. Let us see what he can do in this Four Nations tournament. If it is the same things that we saw at the AFCON, I'm afraid Avram Grant should as well go.
Looking at the teams, there's Malawi, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and there's Malawi, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and also Zambia. Are we the favorites to win this tournament?
We stopped being favorites a long time ago. The teams in our region learnt a lot of football from us, and now they are very difficult to beat anymore. Okay, the level of the Zambia national soccer team on its day, they will beat everyone, but on their day again, they will just surprise you. Okay, so it's a good tournament. Kudos to Faz. It's a very good tournament because it's going to give us the real picture of the post-Africa Cup of Nations era. Okay, it's going to seriously give us a real picture, and with time, believe you me, Reuben, a lot of people are going to agree with me that with Avram Grant, we are actually wasting a lot of time. What I thought was we should have a very good understanding of Avram Grant. by the understudy. I'm looking at we need to progress. We should have another coach apart from Moses Ischone. It's not a crime to have 4 coaches with the national team. You understand? We should have a variety that are going to be with him in this process. Okay, he may have good tactics whatsoever. We need an understudy who, at any point when Avram Grant leaves, is going to take over. Okay, I know you are going to tell me that there's Moses Ichone. No, he needs competition. He seriously needs competition. One coach is not enough. We should actually have 2 there to seriously already start thinking of national team head coach. That's the progress we should be going on. So this tournament is definitely going to give us a very good spectrum of evaluating ourselves on the post-Africa Cup of Nations era. How is the team? And what is the mentality now of our Avram Grant? One good thing about Avram Grant is that we hear he talks a lot of stories during trainings about Arnold Schwarzenegger, some of them motivating the players. Let him also put in tactics now and let him show that he seriously understands the game when the game starts. For now, the substitution is going to come in the 75th, and the Klings or whatsoever, Lameck is going to go in for Lubambo. He shouldn't be predictable. That's the big problem that I have.
Going to come in the 8th. And Triposi will come in the 80th minute.
Exactly. Exactly. So let him use this tournament as a different coach altogether. Let him let us see to say he's learning and understanding the Zambian game and the Zambian players as much as possible. I hope this boy from is it Yanga?
Moses.
Yeah, no, not Moses. No,
he's talking about Kennedy. He's talking about Kennedy.
Yes, I hope Kennedy. Yeah, I hope Kennedy will come because for me, he is one of those players that I saw as a very good partner up front of Patson Daka, because Patson Daka, even according to Avram Grant, he always has the number 1 spot. You understand? So I think with Kennedy, from what I saw at AFCON, he has a very good partnership.
But are you going to be comfortable if he starts the game, the lineup that played the last game against Morocco? The likes of Miguel Chayu.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as he actually understands what he's doing, he makes substitutions at the right time. Look, the 4 Nations tournament is a trial. Okay? He is actually making a team. If he comes back with the same team that played, it's okay. We'll take it. Because what we want to see is, what is it that he thinks now? If he's going to play the same team again at the 7th minute, that's when he makes a substitution. I will completely give up.
Let's hear it from Mr. Nyirenda. Over to you, Mr. Nyirenda.
Yeah, Reuben. As for me, all these reports in football we are seeing today in the national team, the women's team, I put all this blame to fast. Me, I'm not, I'm not encouraging, I'm not tolerance of.
Sorry, with some background that we're getting, Mr. Nyirenda. We're having some background from your end. Just sort that out, then we'll come back to you. Mr. President, so this game is going to be this tournament will take place in Malawi on the 18th to 26th. You've already degraded Zambia, but now who stands as the favorite for this tournament? Looking at the recent results.
Well, I think Kenya has done well. Zimbabwe, after that FIFA ban, they've seriously regrouped themselves. I don't think we have an outright favorite, but honestly speaking, I think Malawi has done very, very well. Especially that the games will be played at the Kamuzu Stadium. I've been there, Reuben. I know the stadium very well, and Malawians seriously watch football. I would definitely have to see if I can also make it to this tournament. You understand? But for me, I think Malawi is definitely a team to look out for. They are very strong. They are good enough. Most of their players are actually playing in South Africa. So I think they are favorite for me.
Right. Let's turn into the Super League now as we come to the end. We are entering week 23 tomorrow, starting tomorrow, and we've got a lot of games, about 8 games tomorrow, and just one game on Sunday. So far, how do you sum up the Zambian Super League?
Well, unpredictable. I would say that. Surprises and also disappointing in some instances. Look, just last week we only had one team that had not won a league game. They managed to win it. Okay, you're talking about week 22. That's when you win your first game in the Super League. That's disappointing for Trident. Okay, and we need to ask ourselves: were they really ready for the Super League? What is it that they did not do well when they actually managed to qualify as champions, and all of a sudden they find themselves by week 22 only managing to win one game? Okay, so that's the most disappointing part. The unpredictable is you don't know where you're going to lose points this league. Okay, you seriously don't know. One interesting thing is the 45 passes of Mufulira Wanderers against Zanaco, and also Power Dynamos going to Choma to win for the first time that side with that high score line of 4-0. So those are the surprises that we have. Then looking forward, most likely champion CAF teams, you are looking at Red Arrows, Zesco United, and Power Dynamos. Believe you me, a champion is going to come from these three: either Red Arrows, Power Dynamos, and Zesco United. Okay, then when we talk about the relegation, it's the most interesting part. Only one team looks like they are giving up. That is Trident. Yes, they may have won, but I think the games are running out. They expect to have a very perfect run, which doesn't look very possible. So apart from them, Prison Leopards, Nkana, Mutondo Stars, all the way up to where Mufulira Wanderers is on number 8, any of those teams could actually just drop because the relegation points are just so close. You look at where Mutondo is on 24 points, look at where Mufulira is on 29. It is telling you that there are only 5 points difference with a team that is in the relegation zone. It is telling you it's a very competitive league when you are talking about relegation. Whereas if you look at the top there, well, it is clearly showing that the stronger teams are actually widening the gap. So that is my sum up of what the vast MTN Super League this season is all about.
Let's try to zoom in on Mutondo Stars. The league started, one of the surprising team, but then over a sudden it seems that like they've run out of gas or fuel of that power, and they've started losing games. What's happening there at Mutondo? And today they've announced a new assistant coach. All right, it seems we've lost Mr. Boyzan there, but I'm sure he's going to join us. Mr. Abia, I'm sure now you've sorted out the sound system. Are we good to go now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm sure you're able to see the league table. For you, what's your prediction when it comes to the one who's going to win the Super League this season? There's Arrows, there's Zesco United, Power Dynamos, and Muza. These look as favorite to win the league. Who do you think will carry or will win this Super League?
I think I have a problem in terms of internet. I'm not getting you, Reuben, now.
Are you able to get me now?
No. I think it's me here. Let me check my internet first.
Right. So if you are joining us, you are watching Ubuntu Sports, and we come every Friday discussing everything to do with the Zambian football. So earlier on, maybe if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Copper Queens, the performance of the Copper Queens. Concerning the qualifiers that were taking place, we saw the Copper Queens playing Ghana on Wednesday at the Levi Manawasa Stadium, where it ended 3-3. Though the Copper Queens didn't perform according to what most fans expected. We saw the Ghanaians dominating in that game and going all the way, scoring some good goals. All right, Bezan, are you back now?
Yes, I'm back. I think it's Mr. Nyirenda playing with my internet.
And he's also having issues with the internet. So I was saying, let's zoom in with Mtondo Stars. Mtondo Stars started the league very well. We thought this is one of the surprising teams for the season, but as the games came by for them, they seemed like they were running out of fuel, running out of power, and here they are in the relegation zone, and they're almost going down. What's happening there to Mtondo? And we've seen they've announced a new assistant coach.
Look, I'm not even aware they've announced the new assistant coach. Who is the new assistant?
Let me just get the name. They did today. Mtondo Stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then there's always something that is amiss in the teams.
George Chilufya is
George. No.
Yes.
Okay. No. Well, that's a big call. That's a big call, and I think he's actually more qualified than the main coach now, because I think George Chilufya has a A. You understand? I'm not very sure with what ZSL has, but that's a very interesting call, and I hope it actually brings a lot of fruition. But the biggest problem that is at Mtondo is the inexperience. Okay, it's a team that is coming from the National Division 1, playing excellent football, missing a lot of chances, and they didn't actually bring in very, very key players that are experienced and they know the league. Okay, it's good in that way, but you need 1, 2, 3 players at least that are going to keep the team even in the times of difficulties. That's one thing that actually fails most of the time, because if you see, they've actually lost the last 6 games, and it's not a surprise that they're actually in that relegation zone. And you know where they are going next. They are going to Mufulira to play Mufulira Wanderers at Shinde Stadium. It won't be easy. Okay, they beat Mufulira Wanderers, yes, in the reverse fixture, but we all know how Mighty now plays. So that's not an easy game. They may actually go 7 games without a win, and the pressure will just mount on them, and they will need to find a way of coming out of that.
All right. Let's look at the games that are taking place starting tomorrow. I'm told Zesco United, the bus has arrived in Choma without any issues with the aircon, and they are ready to take on Green Eagles who have lost 2 games so far. How do you look at this game? Zesco really want to turn the tables and go top, and they face Green Eagles who have lost back-to-back games.
Yeah, they have a very good opportunity here, because Red Arrows is not also having an easy game. They'll be playing in the Lusaka Derby against Nopsa Stars. Okay, so they'll also be looking out what is going on at Red Arrows. Okay, and so that they manage, because it's the team that has actually been on top most of the times, about 7 times, I think, compared to the 5 times by Red Arrows. Okay, so going to Choma, I think the pressure definitely is on Green Eagles. Green Eagles have lost their 2 opening games of the second phase, losing to Musa and Power Dynamos, and in the last 6, they've lost 4 times and only winning 2. It is telling you it's not looking very good for them. And welcoming Zesco United, it's not something that you take lightly. You understand? Yes, Zesco United, for me, do not have depth. We saw how they played in their last game against Power Dynamos. Lazarus Kambole in and out. 63rd minute brought in, 68th minute yellow card. 73rd minute, removed. It tells you that problems are there. You understand? And you will need to see what George Landamina has to bring. But for Green Eagles, this is a big game for Namazawa. If he wins it, again, he gets a lot of confidence because this is the ZSL United side. If he loses, people remind him about the ultimatums again. And maybe people will say he does well when he's on ultimatum. You understand what I mean? That's the big problem that he finds himself into. So he has a very big opportunity here to take the pressure off him and just make sure that he gets something out of this. Believe you me, if he gets a point against Zesco, a lot of people will understand. But a loss would definitely put him in a lot of understanding.
Earlier on, you talked about the game for the Lusaka Derby, the Napsa Stars versus Red Arrows. Napsa at home. We know they're also fighting. They want to run away from the relegation zone, and Red Arrows, they want to win the league. Another big game tomorrow.
It's huge. It's very huge. Napsa Stars for now out of the relegation zone, but they are only 2 points above the relegation zone. Red Arrows, it's the form team. Hey, they've collected more points in the last 6 than any other team. You are talking about, is it 12? 13 points from the possible 18. That's massive. Yeah, that's massive. And they look very good. Yes, they dropped that point, the 2 points against Mufulira Wanderers, but generally, I think they looked very, very formidable. So that's not an easy game for Napsa Stars, but we all know how Perry is. He will wind up the fellow coaches to get a result. He knows how to frustrate Chisimbewe. That's the only way he can actually get that result.
We see also the relegation battle tomorrow. Nkana versus Trident. Nkana will be away in Solwezi at the renovated stadium, Independence Stadium in Solwezi. Bwezan.
Yeah, thank you for not asking me how my views on the Independence Stadium. We'll just go straight into the game. It's a big game. People of Solwezi will definitely turn in numbers. One, to look at Nkana, because Nkana is a mover of fans. Wherever they go, the stadium is full. And this is also going to be pressure on Ian Bakala, because honestly speaking, it's something that he needs to turn this team into winning. He is from dropping a point at home, 2 points at home against Forest Rangers, after they came from behind to get a point in that game. That's another game that we'll be looking out for and say, this is also a very big opportunity for Trident, who picked their first win. Believe you me, they will seriously be pushing to see how they can actually get out of this. But for Nkana, it's a very big one because a win will take them to 26 points. And if other results go their way, they will be out of the relegation for after a long time. So it's a game that looks like a cup game for me. Yeah.
All right. Are you still there, Bezan?
Yes. I'm here.
All right. Let's look at the Sunday fixture before we wrap it up. The 45 passes team is back at home again at Shinde Stadium, and they'll be hosting Mutondo Stars. Are we going to see 56 or 90 passes this time around?
Well, if they concentrate on the passes, they may not score. I think they should just forget about those passes. They should play to score now. You understand?
But
because
I don't know if
they are not yet safe from.
But I don't know if you've noticed them, Fulira. They tend to win games at home, but they struggle when they're away.
Exactly. They've only lost one game at home. That was the game against Power Dynamos. So they will definitely be expected to win. Look, if they drop points, it will be a very big disappointment for them. So they just look good to go on and win this game. For me, they're the favorites, without a doubt. For Mutondo Stars, they should actually be fighting. If they get a point, away, it will be a very big result. Okay, they are also failing to do better in goal difference. A point will take them to 25, but they will still be below Kansashi Dynamo's goal difference. So it's just not looking good for them. But at least it will be better getting a point than just dropping all the 3 points. But definitely Mufulira Wanderers looks a very big favorite in this one.
Right. I don't know which games you'll be following, but for me, my interest is the Trident versus Nkana game, the relegation battle, and also I might find myself where the Napsas game and Red Arrows will be playing. I think that's the game I'll be following. Expect tomorrow. I don't know which games you'll be looking out for.
Yeah, I think my eyes will be more on the Power Dynamos versus Green Buffaloes game. That game is live on SuperSport, and also the Forest Rangers Musa game. Those two, it will be interesting to see how those two pan out. But again, my eyes and ears this time, because it won't be on TV, it will be Trident taking on Nkana. I think that one is very interesting. Just want to see this storyline of Nkana. How far is it going? If they fail to win in Solwezi, wow, it is seriously dent into their team. They got to the place at a very wrong time when Trident has finally won. So there's a bit of confidence into that camp as well. So that's one game to look out for.
All right, thank you very much, Bezani, and also we say thank you to you, our viewers, and thank you for this table. You've kept the consistency. I don't know where you get the energy for this, Bezani.
Yeah, look, just this comment is enough for me to get that energy. So there are very few people that will say the good things, but when I get some few things like that, look, this is a passion that I have. Will definitely be providing it to just make sure that people are informed.
Thank you very much, and I've seen you updating us and giving us your reviews. I'm looking forward to your predictions, because I'm one of those that just look at your predictions and how the matches go, just take place and the results, and also the comments that come after the games. People forget that they're predictions. Maybe you're a prophet in football.
No, just enjoying the game and understanding the head-to-head. That's all. The dimensions seriously do not change. The Zambia Super League is very predictable. So if the result doesn't go their way, it's a shock. So they are not very difficult games to predict. But of course, look, like last week, we had a lot of draws. You see, that's what the Super League is all about. So it's difficult sometimes, but very predictable.
Thank you very much. We end it here. Our viewers, join us again next week at the same time. It's Ubuntu Sports on Ubuntu channel. Goodbye and God bless you.
Thank you.